us, and I know you have to be purposely vague in all of this, um, but what can you tell us about this case and Marty's action against his former employer?
Well, Martin Desmond, who was an assistant prosecutor for 13 years with Mahoning County and served the public in an exemplary way, prosecuting for 1,000 criminals and winning awards from the FBI, has filed an appeal with the State Personnel Board of Review over what he contends is a retaliatory firing. What he says is that he advised Prosecutor Gaines of misconduct in the prosecutor's office and was shortly thereafter suspended and then fired. In the days, weeks, and months to come, more details will become public about the nature of the misconduct, and Mr. Desmond is absolutely committed to seeing that the truth comes out so that Mahoning County residents are served.
Can you, and we know that there was a timeline, so to speak, of this, where there was a federal lawsuit filed naming Mr. Gaines and one of his assistants, Don Cantalamesa, the very day after the federal judge notifies the parties in that lawsuit that she's going to dismiss because of immunity. Marty is placed on suspension, and then a week later he's terminated. Is there a nexus linking these events?
For the time being, the public can draw its own conclusions based upon the allegations of that federal complaint and the dubious timing of Mr. Desmond's suspension and firing. The truth will come out eventually. But what I can tell you as a general matter is this: prosecutors with integrity care about constitutional rights of the defendants they are prosecuting, but because that protects us all from despotism. And our constitutional rights include the right, under the Fifth Amendment, not to incriminate ourselves. And Martin Desmond is the type of prosecutor who I think most people, including the criminals he prosecuted and their criminal defense attorneys today, respect the Constitution and took an oath to comply with it and uphold it. And that's what he's committed to, and that's what he was committed to in the prosecutor's office, and he believed that it was his responsibility to notify the prosecutor if anyone was violating that solemn oath.
I don't know if you can talk to this, but the notion that not only was he terminated, but it appeared from our perspective that his reputation was then brought into question going forward, whether it was trying to find another job or one day perhaps down the road running for office himself. Now his reputation's been impugned. Does that kind of play a role in all of this as well?
It was disgusting and dismaying that Prosecutor Gaines not only terminated Mr. Desmond for reasons that Mr. Desmond believes were retaliatory for the whistleblower, but also then stomped on his reputation and did everything he could to besmirch Mr. Desmond's good name. And all of that is a reason that the truth has to come out now.
Okay. When might we look to see other, I know you have to do your diligence in this case, and you said this morning you're still working through that.
Yes.
When might we see other actions taken? My guess is there will be a lawsuit. That's just a guess on my part, but I'm guessing there will be some sort of wrongful termination lawsuit that's filed in the courts as well as at the State Personnel Board. When might those things start happening?
Well, the State Personnel Board of Review works at its own pace, and so we're going to have to respect whatever their timeline is. We're continuing to do our due diligence and investigate to determine what the proper remedies are for Mr. Desmond beyond the State Personnel Board of Review. But it's not just any citizen in Mahoning County or any citizen in Ohio or America could send public records requests to the prosecuting attorney, Prosecutor Gaines. Your station could do it and demand every document related to Mr. Desmond's complaints and notifications prosecutor of wrongdoing, and what the responses were and deliberations in response to that.
Okay, very good. There, sir.